Two of our quests for the best Italian food in the city. Yesterday we kicked it off at Mercato, and today we are at a relatively new Italian hot spot called Borgo on 17th Avenue. That's where we find our Mike Yanni this morning. Have you dug into anything yet there, Mike?
Not yet, but I'm excited. And you know what, Jill? This is the best day ever to fill in for you, because I love Italian food.
Yeah, and you got to fill in yesterday. You get to fill in today, so not a bad gig at all. And you have your work cut out for you. You're going to be digging into quite a few pasta dishes.
We are, for sure. And Jill, I know you've been here, but this is absolutely a beautiful restaurant, Borgo Trattoria on 16th Avenue, just off of 17th. And take a look at this behind me here. And this is just part of the restaurant. This is the front part, but what you see in the back, with a whole new area back here as well, so very large. And here we find Chef Giuseppe joining me here to tell us a little bit about Borgo. And Chef, you were saying that it's not necessarily a restaurant, it's a trattoria. Explain what is a trattoria.
Well, a trattoria is actually a category of restaurant that is more casual, rustic. It has a different approach to food altogether. There's an affordability to it as well. So it's a place that you can come twice a day, you know, many times during the week. So we want people to come, you know, often enough to enjoy the affordable prices and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, Trattoria is a restaurant that's open all day. So we start in the morning with coffee, and we also, you know, do pastry, homemade pastry in the morning as well. 8:30 in the morning is when everybody starts coming in. Right through the day, we serve food, and we do brunch on Saturday and Sundays, an Italian brunch. Imagine an Italian cooking eggs. Fantastic. So, I mean, really, it's something that it's not as popular as it should be, but Italians know how to cook eggs as well, believe it or not.
So it's not just for special occasions, it's an all-day affair.
Exactly. Well, you know, of course, you know, celebrate your birthday with us. We have no problems with that whatsoever. But at the same time, you know, it's not the ritualistic kind of restaurant you come into and you sit down, you have to worry about what fork you're using and what glass you should, you know, drink your wine from, all that kind of stuff. It's more of, you come in, it's rustic, it's really, really earthy, it's, everything comes out in terracotta dishes, and so it's really, there's no fear in coming to Borgo. There's no rituals to take care of, you know, it's very, very casual.
Yeah. So we're going to be trying, sampling a couple of different dishes this morning. Looking forward to the judges are going to be here any moment, and Jill, I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited and pumped for this.
And we are celebrating the best of Italy this week, looking for the best Italian food in the city. We were at Mercato yesterday, Borgo Trattoria today. Mike Yanni, you're with the judges, and have the dishes been served?
Not yet, but it's standing by, and it smells absolutely heavenly, Jill. Unbelievable. And yes, the judges are standing by, and Gwendolyn Richards, food writer with Calgary Herald. And Gwendolyn, you'd mentioned that you've eaten here before.
I have indeed. I had lunch here, so I'm really excited to see what we're going to be having today.
And John Gilchrist as well, food critic. You're no stranger to this restaurant either?
Yeah, this is one of the hot new places that opened in 2011, so it was definitely high on my list for places to check out and put on my top list of new restaurants for the year.
Okay. And so we have our first dish standing by, and we're going to bring it in now. And take a look at this. It smells absolutely amazing. And I'm just going to sneak over here to Chef Giuseppe. And Chef, maybe come over here and tell us what the judges are about to dig into.
Okay, well, this is what we call paccheri. It's pasta from my homeland of Naples. Paccheri, a quick translation, means a big slap. You know, the macaroni is so big that actually you can slap somebody with it. So we made a nice porcini sauce. It's a cream porcini, a little bit of truffle, lots of grana padano, and that's it. A real simple dish. Nothing to it, but hopefully they'll enjoy it.
And you can really smell the truffle.
You can smell it for sure, absolutely. And we're going to test the judges' palates, what they think of it. There you go.
It looks incredible. Now, you're serving it family style this morning. Is this traditionally how you'd serve it in the restaurant?
Exactly, exactly. And this is one of the pastas that's becoming for us a signature dish, because it's served in our spelunga dinner, which is a three-course dinner we do every night. And that's a pasta that we serve on a regular basis. And people really seem to enjoy it. So hopefully the judges are going to enjoy it as well.
Okay, so we're going to get the first initial reactions here right away. And Gwendolyn is...
Oh, it smells so good. That truffle goodness. It's a nice way to wake up. Better than coffee.
Truffles for breakfast, nothing wrong with that.
Fantastic. Well, again, we got the coffee color to the pasta, though. That's good enough, you know. It's exactly. Got a brownish tinge to it. So.
Now we're going to let the judges take their initial bite here, because we want to get a quick reaction before we have to. Let's see here. Let's see what Gwendolyn's going to say.
There's nothing like chewing on television.
We'll let her take it in.
It's really rich and hearty. All the flavors are melding together really perfectly. It's lovely.
So we're going to let them taste this a little bit, and we'll come back to them in a few moments and get their reaction. But I'm hoping that there's some for me as well, because it looks delicious and smells absolutely heavenly. Jill?
Yeah, get in there, Mike. Well, get in there while there's still some on the plate.
We're down at Borgo today. It's day 2, Best of Italian. Mercato yesterday, Borgo this morning. And Mike, you're getting ready for dish number 2, right?
That's right. We just finished off the porcini mushroom packery macaroni with truffles. Quite a mouthful, and literally it was. It was absolutely amazing. But you know what? It doesn't matter what I think. It all comes down to the judges. And we're going to start with John Gilchrist and get your reaction to that first dish.
Well, you know what I like about Giuseppe? He's a chef from Naples, and he manages to combine that sort of earthy richness of really good Neapolitan food with this elegant lightness at the same time. So you get a dish like that it looks like, oh, that's going to weigh like a ton, but it just has so many high notes, and it's just lovely to eat. I could still be sitting here eating it if I didn't know there was more to come.
Yeah, it was absolutely delicious. And Gwendolyn, move over to you now here and get your thoughts. We got your initial thoughts when we took that first bite. Now you've had time to digest it. What are your thoughts?
I have to totally agree with what John said. It was light and creamy, and yet so rich and hearty and filling. I don't know how you achieve that, really. It was just really hearty and yet very light at the same time. It was lovely.
Now you guys have obviously saved some room for course number 2, and here it comes right now. I'm just going to get out of the way, and we'll bring this in. Take a look at that. That looks delicious. Now, Chef Giuseppe, if you want to step in here and explain what our judges are about to dig into.
Okay, well, this is a second course. Just imagine it to be a croissant, so sort of a little more appetizing, just for the time of the morning. But it is a porchetta, so this is a braised porchetta. So we took 2 takes on the porchetta, because usually porchetta is roasted. We actually braised it, and then we did a nice sweet and sour sauce, so agrodolce, with some polenta, with thyme and Parmesan cheese. So dig in and enjoy it. See what you think. Thank you.
There you go. Once again, it smells absolutely delicious, and our judges are about to take their very first bite. Now, Chef, would you normally have a side dish, or is this all like the polenta is the side dish?
This is the way the dish comes to the tables, but of course on the menu you can order different side dishes as well to go with it. But mostly people order something like this, they share it, and then I'll move on to a next sort of dish, and So we keep everything sort of in a basic way, so that there's not too much on the plate that people have. No, I don't like this, I don't like that. The polenta and pork, and that's it. It's as simple as that. No.
Our judges are digging in, and we're going to be getting their reaction in just a few moments. Jill, Ted, it looks good.
It does look good. You're a lucky man, Mr. Mike Yanni.
Is Borgo. That's where we find Mike Yanni this morning, the second stop in our hunt for the best Italian food in the city. And it's time for judgment, isn't it, Mike?
It is, and you know what? It's also time for a nap, because I'm pretty sleepy after having the pasta and the pork. Absolutely delicious. And the judges have spoken. They've had 2 dishes, and the results are here in my hand, but I'm not going to give it away. However, I do want to talk to them about their thoughts. This is all based on presentation, on taste, and on value. Now, Gwendolyn Richards, food writer for the Calgary Herald, you said you've never been here for the entrees, for supper, only for lunch. Your thoughts after having 2 of the dishes here?
Well, I feel like I should come back now for dinner. That was such an amazing set of dishes. The porchetta was fork tender, fell apart under the tines of your fork, and the sweet and sour sauce was so rich and delicious. I'm kind of running out of words, actually.
And that was just the second dish, not even
that was just the second dish, and the first dish was, as I said before, hearty and rich and soothing and comfort and all the things you want at breakfast, right?
Exactly. John Gilchrist, restaurant critic. I've got to ask you your favorite. If you had to pick a favorite, which one was it?
I've never had braised porchetta as opposed to roasted porchetta before, so I mean that was a real thrill to try that. I've had Giuseppe's his pastas with mushrooms before, and they're absolutely wonderful. But I would go with the porchetta just because it was such an unusual presentation of it, one you rarely see anywhere else.
Now, talking about pasta, we were talking about the difference between homemade pasta, or fresh pasta, and dried pasta. Right. And they do make a lot of fresh pasta here. We had dried pasta this morning, and you said that just because it's dry doesn't mean it's lesser quality. quality?
No, these days the quality of dried pasta has really come up, so that the one we had this morning was outstanding. Now it's easy enough to make the long, flat, fresh pastas if you're making spaghettis or fettuccinis or linguinis or even for the raviolis that they do here. But when you want something with a bit more style to it, then you have to have a different kind of extrusion process in the kitchen. So it's a lot easier to go with the dried pastas. And as I say, the quality of them is excellent these days.
That's right, just as delicious. And I know the hosts back in the studio, they're very jealous this morning, as you should be, because I've got to tell you, it's quite the feast.
Quite the feast, yes. And this is only day 2. We have a couple more days in the hunt for the best Italian food in the city. Mercato, Borgo, we have Osteria de Medici tomorrow, and Bonterra wrapping things up, and then we will name our final winner on Friday on the show.
Yeah, get outside if you can today. Should be nice.
Yeah, maybe lunch or supper at Borgo Trattoria. That's where Mike Yanni is this morning. It's the second stop in our hunt for the best Italian food. Mercato yesterday, Borgo today, and you're learning a little something in the kitchen, Mike.
I am. The chef is putting me to work. He says, I'm going to teach you how to make one of the pastas on the menu. And he said, it's simple. 2 minutes, you can do this. So the chef's brought me into the kitchen here. And what are we making?
We're making orecchiette with broccoletti and smoked pancetta. So a very simple sauce. It's an olive oil based, so very simple. So what you want to do, you want to sort of just put the pasta in the basket and drop it in the water.
Now this has been, you said, blanched already.
Blanched pasta, exactly. Okay. So this is, it will take a couple of minutes in the water. So yeah.
And this is only going to take a couple minutes because it's already been partially cooked.
That's it, exactly.
Okay.
So by the time, now the sauce, we're going to add to the, we got some olive oil preheated in the pan, so we're going to throw in the smoked pancetta.
Okay.
Turn that down.
Just dump it right in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Beautiful. Just sizzle there?
Yeah. So you have copious amount of oil in there.
You're saying you want this to render a little bit. What does that mean, render?
Render means that we're going to take the fat out of the bacon. In this case, the actual fat is going to actually flavor oil and make a sauce for us. Okay. So the bacon is already like, if you shake the frying pan a little bit there, you can add some garlic already.
Okay, this is roasted garlic?
Roasted garlic, exactly. Okay. You're going to get some flavor in there. If you like it nice and spicy, which I do, you can add some chili flakes, a little pinch.
Just a pinch.
Just a pinch. Or as much as you like to eat it. Anyways, yeah. Okay. That's it. Now the other thing we're going to do, we're going to add the broccoli. Now it's going to splatter a little bit, so be careful when you add it in. So.
Okay. Now is this broccoli already cooked or is this raw?
This is it can be already cooked or it can be raw. It doesn't matter. This one is already cooked.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to take that off the fire a little bit here.
It smells amazing. You really start to smell that garlic.
Exactly. We're going to let the seasoning settle down a little bit first. Okay.
So we're almost out of time. So what's our next step then?
Next step, we're going to put a little bit of pasta water to the pan. Okay, like that. A little flambe there. And then we're going to put pasta in there.
Pasta in there?
So take it out of there. Give it a bit of a shake. Exactly. Add it to the sauce. Okay, we're going to add a pinch of salt. Just like that. And next thing you want to do is just... look at that. Can you do that?
I could try quickly.
Right.
Mike, that looks amazing.
Fantastic.
Thanks for cooking Jill and I lunch, by the way. That's so nice of you.
Cheese.
Oh, you got to put the cheese in there.
Finishing it off. We're out of time. Thank you so much for having us.
It was a pleasure, Mike. Thank you very much.
And I can't wait to taste this now. Third course.
Thank you.
Third course from Mike Yanni. He's stuffed this morning.